What's up, crypto junkies? It's Jay, and welcome to another video. Today is January 21st. Welcome to the future if you're in the US. Today we're going to talk about the markets. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about all the altcoins. Possibly we shook off this bear market, this bloodbath that's been going on. And we're going to retouch on lending platforms, Bitconnect, what this channel is going to be doing moving forward, what you might want to be doing strategy-wise, and what we're doing with the community moving forward. A lot of stuff to cover. And I'm also going to attempt to one take this. My editors are back, but I'm literally shooting this and I want to post it today. So let's focus, Jay. Let's get in there and let's do this. We're looking good overall. $630 billion in the cap. BTC dominance is still down. I think a lot of what initially what caused this, we had all the backed up transactions, the Bcash pump, Block Explorer was backed up 280,000 transactions at one point. That shook a lot of people away. Then we had problems with the most popular place for people to bring fiat into Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash Ethereum, which was Coinbase, that had problems and started to limit things. GDAX, and now we have this whole string of exchanges that have limited the amount of registrations. The amount of registrations and new users as well. So there's a lot going on in the crypto space. Outside of that, we obviously have the influence of a platform like Bitconnect, which is by far the biggest, by far the largest, and the longest lasting, going down. That means a lot. And so we need to talk about that. And now that a couple more days have passed, hopefully we can talk about this a little bit. A lot of the emotions have passed, I hope, for a lot of you. And you can start to come back to the drawing board, come back to the table, and make a new plan for things. All right, so let's dive in. The overall sentiment is green. Look at what we're looking at here. 24-hour change. Look at that. Green, 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 green. The only one down, Tether. It's not even 0.5%. Dent to coin. But if you look literally in the top 100, how many red do we have? We have very few red. This is positive. This is, I think a lot of people, there's two types of people in this market, as with any market. There is speculators, and there are investors. And investors really don't look back on an investment. They go in and they go in for a long run. Long run like we all used to know it, years and years and years. Crypto obviously accelerates things, and long term in crypto could mean 15 minutes. And then there's speculators like myself. I think I'm starting to bridge the gap between speculator and investor, but I'd still say I'm mostly a speculator. And we are the ones that are trying to come in and make a lot of money out of the markets, whether it's through swings, whether it's through different programs, through diversification in our portfolio. We're predominantly not looking at like what's our 5-year play on this stuff. We're looking at what's the next 6 to 12 months plays. Okay. So this is positive news. And what I'm seeing come out of this too is I'm seeing like this new boom in altcoins. I'm seeing a lot of people, because there's like weeks and weeks and weeks of this bloodbath, a lot of new money didn't know what to do, so they started looking at altcoins. A lot of the original people in crypto that are in Bitcoin for Bitcoin's technology's sake, those types of people, they're not going to change their position. But a lot of the new money that came in, they were looking for answers. So they were looking to Twitter. They were looking for other people to help provide them with some sort of, like I said, answer on what to do. If you're not already following us on Twitter, give us a quick follow. The account's growing. And we follow all the major exchanges, all the major TA people, that's technical analysis. We follow a lot of the major channels and brands that you should be following too if you want to get serious about crypto. And so if you just look, I'll scroll through. A lot of it is memes and trolling, which I'm not really a big fan of. And then a lot of it is just look, TA, charting, and things like that. So great resource for you if you haven't already. We really don't tweet that much either. Not really into Twitter that much too. So anyways, that's a resource for you. Dive into that. If you haven't also too, let me plug the Discord chat. We've grown, I don't know, 500, maybe 500 new members over this last week. I think especially because a lot of people were looking for answers on Bitconnect, so they needed somewhere to go. A lot of people were looking to bitch. A lot of people were looking for just support and probably anything in between. So the community's really been growing because of that. But let's jump into Bitcoin. So here's what we're looking like. We've definitely been retesting some of these lower support zones. You see it all the way down into the 90. What did we dip down into? Because most of the exchanges are different. So I was mostly looking on Binance, but yeah, I didn't realize we dipped as low as 94. Interesting. So yeah, we retested into a serious support pocket, which is like between 8,000 and 9,000. And it looks like we've pulled out of that. It's not super bullish. So I think from a TA standpoint, a lot of people are still kind of sitting and waiting on the sidelines. They're not going all in back yet. And a lot of the parabolic guys are kind of sitting on the sidelines too. But I will say this overall, I think everyone in crypto, like, we're insanely optimistic about crypto. We all want a decentralized solution to work. Like, we all want a better option than what we've got now. And I think that's a really good thing, with somewhat of a dangerous thing, because when you're too glued, when you're too emotionally attached to something, it gets you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. And that's true for the investment side of it too. You know, a lot of us were emotionally invested into our investments with something like Bitconnect. So when it goes away, naturally you have the echo and the ripple effect that we had. Okay, let's talk Bitconnect, which still, like, makes my heart murmur a little bit. So there's a potential class action lawsuit, which, you know, as much as I talked about Bitconnect, I think this is a really good thing. I think there was a lot of people who were inspired by the thought of getting rich quick, who were inspired by a lot of what they saw from myself and other people in the space talking about Bitconnect all the time, thinking and starting to adopt this attitude like they can't lose. And it's just when you think you've got, you know, the market by the balls, that it usually comes and sweeps the rug out from underneath you. And I think that's a pretty big thing that happened here. I've read some of the stories, which are insane. Very sad, very sad. I don't even want to, like, dive back into that emotion actually, but yeah, there's a lot of people that lost big out of this. And I think that Bitconnect handled it pretty poorly. Like, they had to have known that if they just gave everybody back this coin, that the market would tank because everyone would be panicking. Like, that is like 101. So I don't know what their mindset or belief was with that. And so I'm, as much as I used to talk about it, that doesn't make me a fanboy. And I think there's a big difference. Let me kind of riff on this for a second. I think there's a big difference with how I would talk about it, and a big difference how a lot of other people talked about it. Understand that there was promoters that would make more money based off of more lending that the public did, more lending that the crypto space did. Now, I actually became one of those people 3 weeks ago, but you'll notice if you go back on my channel, I didn't actually start talking about it more positively or start shooting all these rah, let's go Bitconnect videos. Actually, it was the same volume. If anything, there was less volume. And I knew that because I'm not going to let something like becoming a promoter or maybe getting more percentage on something, I'm not going to let that influence, like, how I talk about something. I'm not going to all of a sudden become extremely bullish on something just because, like, the guys behind it or whatever are giving me more money, right? Also, too, I want to say that I lost money in Bitconnect as well. So for the few people who don't know that, my total losses are about 30,000 when all the dust settles with affiliate commissions and my total investment. So total profit and interest pulled out minus my losses. Right now, with the current value of the coin, is about 30,000. So yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat as you guys. Like, we all lost. I know a lot of people who lost more than me. I think it's interesting to see the ripple effect and a lot of what's happened since then, but it's to be expected. You know, like, there's a bounty on Glenn Arcaro's head. There's people trying to search for him. I think it's up to $10,000 right now, which makes absolute sense with how some of those guys were promoting it, with what they were telling people to do, coming out and acting like everything was okay, not being subjective, and just being extremely bullish because they had such a vested interest in the success of that. I just think is wrong. And if you go back on the channel, if you care to, you'll see that I never acted like that, even from the get-go. In the beginning, like some of my very first videos back in the end of July, I was more bullish then because I was stupid and I didn't really know. And then as time went on, I decided and kind of made my own plan with that, and then decided how I wanted to act and decided how I wanted to be on this channel, and didn't really turn back from that, you know? So it was because of a lack of information in the beginning that maybe I appeared super bullish. But yeah, in the end, I'm not really sure what's going to happen with this. I will say that, you know, I shot a video the other day about what your options are right now. If you were an investor in the platform, you could attempt to be day trading your way out of this, even though the price action on Bitconnect on HIT BTC is pretty much flatlined. I think it's sitting somewhere in the $20 to $30 range, and it's been sitting there. There's a ton of people that are talking about how they're going to hold the coin, and they're still being like, I think, delusionally optimistic about the project and the coin. I'm not one of those people. I'm actually just looking to get my money out and recoup as much as I possibly can. And I want that for everybody in the community. I want that for everybody who not just follows the channel, but is also in the Discord chat. So you want to watch that video. I go through what some of your options could be. Day trade your way out of it. That is a little flatlined at the moment. Also, if you're outside the US, you could exchange it into the Bitconnect X platform and get $150 value. Again, that's another gamble because I know that this will affect, especially if there is a lawsuit, it will affect Bitconnect X, but I don't know how yet. And I also don't know how like the rest of the world is taking this. I know that America and most English-speaking countries are like, fuck Bitconnect. But I don't know what other, like Asia and India and, those countries were much bigger in terms of market size than the US for Bitconnect. So I don't know. I don't know what that's all going to bring, whether it's going to be good or bad. But I'll say this is, I don't think I'm going to stake. A lot of people are saying, oh, they're going to stake and just wait around. I don't think I'm going to be one of those people because I think that's like a 5 to 6 month play. And I could totally go and even take a loss on this money right now and go and make that money back by day trading, getting into actual cap coin ICOs and doing a plethora of things outside of sitting on what is almost a worthless coin at this point, So I will say, though, that I will attempt to do the Bitconnect X thing, and I'm going to set aside all the feelings that I have and the way that they dealt with it, blah, 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 because, again, I'm trying to get out of this. Like, I'm looking for a way to win. And so I refuse to just, like, take an L and sell out at $20 per coin right now at this point, okay? So that's what I'm doing. That's my current position. Obviously, it's entirely up to you, but let's talk about, like, moving forward. I've been reflecting the last couple of days quite a bit actually on what this channel means, what I want for this channel, what I want for this community. And I think we've done a good job of staying true to what this channel was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a documentation channel of my journey and staying in line with that, not really letting outside money really influence our direction or our path. I think we've done a good job at staying true to that. So what I would suggest moving forward is a lot of people, from what I've noticed, went in on these lending platforms with the wrong expectations. They went in thinking these lending platforms are going to save them. They went in thinking that this is going to help them grow like I did. If you've been following my journey, I started with $100 in Bitconnect and grew from there, which is now worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that, my path, my journey doesn't necessarily need to be yours. And I think that if you're coming into the market with like a couple $100s, that's probably the worst thing you could be doing. I think you'd be better off just holding on to a cap coin or starting to learn day trading, something like that. Even an index, if you get up over $500, I think those are much better options. And so what we're going to be talking about a lot more on this channel is indexes. We're actually right now talking with bringing in somebody into the community to help with like the IRA talk, to help with, S&P indexes, to help with a lot of stuff that's outside of crypto, to bring that in as another diversification piece. That's always been on my mind. And again, if you were part of the actual inner community, you would know that. You'd know that that's where we've been moving over this last 30, 60 days, especially. Now that Bitconnect has gone down, it will bring in faster legislation, I feel like, especially in America. So my immediate change on my process will be that I'm doing way less of the lending platforms. And I don't even know how much of it I'll be talking about on the channel. Just because, again, like one thing you have to do when something like this happens is you have to take a step back and realize that like I have impact. People look up to me. I have influence. And even though I know my situation and I'm coming at it with maybe more money than the average person, my excitement influences your excitement level. So I don't know how much of that I really want to be showing on the channel because I have a soul, like I have a heart. I don't want to be responsible or have people trying to and hold me responsible for bad decisions they make off of my bullish excitement on something, right? So that will be a little bit more limited than it is now. I'm not sure to what degree. I don't feel like we really talk about it that much on this channel overall. But that'll definitely affect it, okay? And what I would suggest for you moving forward is that it makes more sense to get into ICO projects that are an actual cap coin. Let's call them legit ICO projects. Especially with the ripple effect of Bitconnect, it will affect the lending platform. So before I move into that topic, let me just recap. Remember the pre-ICO hustle? That was simply an experiment with, I think, $5,000 or $6,000. And I went into 6 different platforms and then 7th. Almost all of them are like flatlined. The coin value is lower than what I paid in the pre-ICO. So that whole thing, and now especially with the impact of Bitconnect, that's been affected. I really don't think that that is a viable solution for somebody, especially just coming in. I think it's a lazy way to do it now. And it was always a lazy part of it, but it got people in, it got people excited. And if nothing else, like, you can say what you want about bigger YouTubers, but they're bringing people into the platform. They're bringing people, excuse me, not into the platform, but into crypto. And a lot of them lost. Yeah, based on the over bullishness statements being made on those channels. But I will say that overall, it's bringing more people into crypto. So here moving forward, like, you know the facts now, like, you've gotten the taste. If you continue to do the lending platform stuff, then you should already know, and you should already be making a plan. Outside of that, if you're not, then that's just laziness on your part. I 100% feel that way. So yeah, the pre-ICO hustle, like, how we can wrap up that series, I don't even need to shoot a video on that, is that all of them flopped except Ficoin is really the only one that I'm looking bullish on. And moving forward, Ficoin I like, and Pagarex I like, because they're not really, they're not traditional lending platforms with this fake bot. Like, Ficoin even came out with a new white paper yesterday and actually talked about how they're going to be transparent with their trading. So there is an arbitrage system behind that. And the similar thing with Pagarex is it's not based on any trading bot. It's more of like a financial ecosystem. Those two, I think, are anomalies, and those two are quite different than what we're seeing. Obviously, current platforms, like, I have to say this, everybody's jumped ship onto Devor. I think some people did this in incredibly bad taste. Some of you YouTubers, like, you need to chill out. Like, give it a couple days before you go shooting and pumping videos. If you look on our channel, I was talking about Devor back on like the 9th or the 10th. So it's been like a good week. Don't get that mixed up. And so it wasn't like, oh, Bitconnect's down, let's just jump onto Devor and promo that. No. And I've seen some really, really awful attempts at trying to, like, nonchalantly, oh, hey, I need some more affiliate commissions now, so let's talk about this thing over here. You got to take a step back. And I'm not going to name names, but you got to take a step back and give yourself some time to think through what just happened, and also remember the influence that you have. And so I'm not going to shame or call out names or anything like that, but you know who you are. You watch this video. A lot of you guys do. And, you know, just take a step back for your own good and, you know, assess. And then also, too, just remember that, like, you have influence. There's a ripple effect to the words that you say. And that shouldn't be taken lightly. It shouldn't just be like, ah, well, you know, I lost on my Bitconnect commission, so let's go and talk about Devor. Let's go and talk about Thorn. Let's go and talk about whatever, fill in a blank, right? That should not be the thought process. You need to bring up those emotions and feel them and let them clear out before you kind of move on for yourself. And that's something that I've been doing over the last couple of days, because you know, there's responsibility on my shoulders. There's responsibility on all of our shoulders for that, for things like this, right? Okay, so covered that. Okay, we have the 60-day trading challenge going on. If you have not been paying attention, then we have a 60-day trading challenge going on KuCoin.com, which is an exchange that does have open registration right now. Haha, there's no affiliate commission. So again, if I didn't make that abundantly clear, I don't really care if you sign up or not. We have a day trading challenge going on, which at the end of it, you will get, the winner will get BTC top 3. Okay, I changed it from just the first position to the top 3 getting BTC. I think it works out to be about $2,000 or so. A bunch of merch. I'm giving away $250 worth of Crypto Junkies merch, so you'll be looking fresh and fly, stomping around the neighborhood if you do win. So that happened and started on, I think, the 16th. Plenty of time. 60 days you have. And so in that strategy, I want to talk about a couple things that you could be doing. You could be not only day trading, you know, maybe Monday through Friday or Saturday, Sunday if you work a day job, but you could also be scooping up some of the coins that you think will grow in value over this next 60 days and plan that into your picture and sell those off. So a little bit longer of a hold, right? That would be not even a swing. I guess that's like a a mid long-term hold, something like that. But KCS would be a good example of that. KCS is the KuCoin coin. And so that would be like the BNB. And BNB, you notice, predominantly goes up when the market's bleeding out. Yeah, it bleeds out just the same. And it actually took a lot to break BNB and get it to bleed out during this last red recession, we'll call it. But KCS coin is another one of those that you could definitely grab up some positions, assuming like you get in at like the $9 to $10 range, that it might double in value. I think it's possible, a little optimistic, but you could definitely see a $5 increase on the coin between now and then, because there's a lot of people using the platform. I will say that the platform is not Binance. Binance is a very solid platform. KuCoin is a little buggy, definitely a little cumbersome. I have trouble still using and operating in it, but I think it's definitely an amazing next option because so many other exchanges are closed. That's what prompted this. And also what prompted it is, you know, put aside the bad Bitconnect stuff, like we made a pretty awful TRX call in the community, which got a lot of people holding bags of TRX. So we were talking about it and we were like, man, like so many of us were saying like we're starting over in our trading accounts. And so that's what grew this idea. And that's what like sparked this whole concept of starting all over again with like $100 or $1,000. So I'll have a link underneath the video to give you more information on the actual challenge itself. If you want to get in on it, I think it'll be a lot of fun. And it's definitely another thing that's bringing the community closer together as we continue to grow. Because everybody now in level 1 trading is talking and doing KuCoin, the challenge. Okay. If you want some help, there's definitely a lot of really good books that are polarizing. Benjamin Graham is one of the, I think one of the best authors to read, because especially with the modern day way of thinking and the speed of which that the whole world is kind of going right now, Benjamin Graham is definitely an old school idealist, very similar to Warren Buffett. I think reading people like that is amazing because not only does it make you itchy at least once during reading the book, it will give you a very conservative look and approach and strategy to implement. And I think that'll be good. So on Market Watch, I'll also link to this. I haven't read a lot of these, but this is basically what, 40 books? 40 books every self-respecting investor needs to read. Boom. There's, I think about 4 or 5 on here that I've read, but this would be a great start. We're also doing a kind of like a book club in the community as well. So everybody's going to sync up their Audibles and buy their, paperback books. And we're going to do like a new book every single month. And I think that'll be another fun way to continue to inspire people to learn and grow beyond what they already know. That's always important. But as we know, getting out of your comfort zone can be a really, really tough thing. So that's where everything is sitting at this point. I covered the pre-ICO stuff. I covered what happened there. I covered the market, what we're going to be doing going forward. Oh, yeah. So I guess overall what you can expect from this channel is, because it's what I'm changing as an individual, is I'd say 80–90% of the lending stuff I'm going to kind of push off to the side and focus more on trading, focus more on ICOs, and focus more on indexing. We've got some internal tools we're working on. So a lot of those things, and that's always been our natural progression, but I'm going to speed it up now because I really think that with the traditional lending platform stuff, there's going to be such a limited window now. I think it's actually going to be 3 months or less that the trading bot arbitrage, basically paying you out a super high percentage every single day in America, will be affected due to regulation. It has to now. Like, there's just such a ripple effect that's happened from Bitconnect, and overall, I think they've handled it poorly. They've handled it poorly with their internal team. Like, I never heard from anybody. I'm supposed to be one of the promoters, right? I never heard from anybody. I've never even talked to the people that I'm supposed to be working with underneath for. I never even talked to them after I got the promotion. And so, yeah, very interesting how they decided to do that. And then, in hindsight, from what I've been hearing, they've been kind of playing dumb about it. So I don't know. That is one of the downsides to anonymity, I guess, too. When you don't know what's going on, who's running the ship, it leaves a lot of question marks, right? So it will ultimately be your choice what you decide to do with it. I'm somebody who I want to figure out a way to win and mitigate my losses. So I will keep trying. I'll keep plugging away. Like, I'm going to try this way. Nope. Try this way. Nope. And that to me is worth it to a degree. And then I'm just going to hit a point to where I'm like, fuck it, just like everybody else. And I've had enough. And then I'll just, whatever, dump it into BCCX because I can and I'm able to, and then see what comes out of that with the exchange. I don't know. I think the exchange still will launch, just real quick. I think the exchange will still launch, but I think it'll definitely be affected. To what degree, how big, I don't know. They would have to come back and do something really big to build trust, especially in English-speaking markets, because the sentiment, like I said there, is basically fuck you. So if they can do something to fix that, great. If not, then I really don't see them taking off. That doesn't mean that you won't be able to get some serious price action on trading your way out of the BCC coin, okay? Now, overall, I think that, again, if you're coming in with a small budget, you should be very, very critical of those things and probably completely avoid them. And if you do have budget to where like it's a small part of your portfolio, then I would say that you should be very critical and roll out more indicators, more variables in how you judge and classify them, okay? Like how you look at them, judge them, should I get in, should I get out? And obviously make a plan that reflects around that, okay? And that should be true up until something changes, whether something changes positively or something changes negatively. All right. I think that's it, guys. I'm about to travel to another part of Asia. Everybody in the community knows about what's going on with that. I'm not going to mention it here on the video, but I will be bringing you updates very, very soon. And we've got some fun stuff lined up for the channel. I shot this whole 2018 portfolio video, which I'll tease a little bit about, and then you can go and watch that once I upload it. But some of the things I talk about is the importance of not only just a crypto index, but a non-crypto index. And then I talk about masternodes, which is basically a staking of micro cap coins. So this would be like non-lending coins. A lot of people know of staking because of lending platforms, but masternodes are like bulk buying of coins and sitting those coins into a staking wallet and earning money off of that. That I think is a really fun little hustle to do. And again, we're going to continue to just keep finding hustles that we can make money with and leverage our crypto to make more Satoshis. All right. Well, we've got that going on. We'll have some IRA stuff coming out soon and some new channels being built out into the platform. The UI tool was almost done, but obviously now we have to remove all the Bitconnect stuff from it. So it's going to take some more time to remove all that back out. And I realized I want to make some changes with how we're doing all that. And that's it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in with me. I know it's a bit long-winded, 27 minutes, but I just wanted to give you a raw update on what's going on with me, what's going on with the community. We'll continue to move forward. We'll continue to hustle. We'll continue to find a way to win because that's what we do, baby. So if you like what we're doing, if you've been paying attention, subscribe to the channel. That means a lot to us. That shows your support, and it also keeps you in the loop with when we upload more content. But you can tell YouTube that you want more by clicking the little bell notification, which basically says, yes, YouTube, I promise that I really do want this sent to my inbox, and you'll get notified when we upload fresh content and when we go live. I've got a live stream coming up. I'm going to be doing some collabs with some YouTubers coming up here too, so that'll be a lot of fun, hopefully really valuable for you guys. And if you haven't, join the Discord chat, follow us on Twitter, and be on the lookout for more uploads hitting the channel soon, my friends. See ya.